the true story of the Zodiac killer behind the movie. The 2007 film Zodiac, directed by David Fincher, is renowned not only for its meticulous craftsmanship, but also for its exploration of one of America's most enduring, unsolved murder cases. The Zodiac killer terrorized Northern California during the late 1960s and early 1970s, thrilling and horrifying the public and police alike with a series of brutal murders, cryptic letters, and a chilling disregard for law enforcement. The film serves as a fascinating investigation into the nature of obsession, the media, and the quest for truth, paralleling the actual events that unfolded during this dark chapter in American criminal history. The story of the Zodiac killer begins in the late 1960s in Northern California, a time characterized by social upheaval and political unrest. The first confirmed victims were high school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, who were shot on December 20, 1968, near Vallejo. Their bodies were discovered on a remote roadside, revealing a gruesome and random act of violence. This murder shocked the community, but would soon prove to be just the beginning. Just a few months later, on July 4, 1969, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau became targets of the Zodiac. While parked in a secluded area, they were approached by a man with a flashlight who shot them both. Darlene was killed instantly, while Michael survived to describe the assailant as a white male with a crew cut. What set the Zodiac killer apart from other criminals was his dramatic flair for theatrics and his engagement with the media. After murdering Ferrin and Mageau, the Zodiac sent a letter to the San Francisco Chronicle, claiming responsibility for the murders and including a cryptogram, a coded message challenging readers to decipher it. This letter was signed with an ominous symbol resembling a crosshair. The cryptograms stimulated public interest. They were a form of macabre entertainment, enticing amateur sleuths and armchair detectives. Of the 4 cryptograms sent, only one, known as the 408-character cipher, would be cracked in 1969 by a couple named Donald and Betty Harden. The deciphered message boasted of the killer's enjoyment of murder, fueling the fear and fascination surrounding the case. The media frenzy surrounding the Zodiac killer reached a fever pitch with each new letter, increasing public awareness and paranoia. His communications not only included cryptic messages, but often taunted police officers and reporters, asserting his intellectual superiority. It was a chilling dance of manipulation where he controlled the narrative and kept the public on edge. In response to the escalating violence, local law enforcement agencies began collaborating. The Vallejo Police Department, San Francisco Police Department, and Napa County Sheriff's Office pooled their resources to investigate the murders. A key figure in the investigation was Inspector Dave Toschi, known for his tenacity, charm, and distinctive attire, often adorned in a turtleneck and peacoat. Concurrently, Robert Graysmith, a political cartoonist for the San Francisco Chronicle, became increasingly obsessed with the Zodiac case. Graysmith would dedicate years of his life conducting independent research, collecting documents, and seeking the truth behind the killer's identity. His efforts culminated in the publication of the book Zodiac, which provided significant insights into the case's context and psychological underpinnings. As the investigation unfolded, various suspects emerged. One of the most infamous was Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted sex offender who had been in the vicinity of several murders and whose personality appeared to fit the profile of the Zodiac. Despite mounting circumstantial evidence, investigators were unable to secure a definitive connection between Allen and the Zodiac killer. The police also received innumerable tips from the public, with each new lead only adding to the labyrinth of speculation. Many claimed to have seen the Zodiac, while others pointed to neighbors or acquaintances as potential suspects. This environment of fear and paranoia only intensified as local residents felt increasingly vulnerable to an unseen menace. In 1971, the Zodiac even appeared on television, separately contacting local news stations and boasting about his ability to evade the police. His flamboyant personality and confidence deepened the sense of urgency among both the police and the public. By the mid-1970s, the Zodiac killer's activity began to decline. Despite having claimed at least 5 confirmed murders, he retreated into the shadows, leaving law enforcement baffled. The last confirmed communication from the Zodiac occurred in 1974, after which the investigation became increasingly cold. In 1978, Arthur Lee Allen passed away, and many speculated about his potential connection to the Zodiac. However, investigations never yielded definitive proof. As years went by and leads faded, the case grew increasingly frustrating for investigators like Toshi, who had poured their lives into solving the enigma. The Zodiac killer had become a symbol of a case that eluded even the most dedicated crime fighters, casting a long shadow over the detective community and solidifying his status as a notorious figure in American history. The Zodiac killer's notoriety has transcended the immediate horror of his crimes, evolving into a cultural phenomenon that persists to this day. This fascination is evident in the countless books, documentaries, podcasts, and films inspired by his story. The case exemplifies humanity's enduring interest in the macabre and the psychological complexities surrounding criminality. Robert Graysmith's Zodiac not only served as a biography of the killer, but also reinforced the public's obsession with unsolved mysteries. His work encouraged numerous amateur sleuths to explore various leads, contributing to ongoing discussions about the Zodiac's identity and motivations. This pursuit of answers reflects society's deep-seated need to understand the psychology of those who commit heinous acts. David Fincher's 2007 film Zodiac revived mainstream interest in the case, masterfully portraying the intense frustrations of law enforcement and the toll obsession can take on individuals. While the film is rooted in factual events, it also delves into broader themes of fear, the quest for truth, and the struggle against the incomprehensible. As time progressed and technology advanced, the methods used in criminal investigations grew increasingly sophisticated. In recent years, forensic science, particularly DNA analysis, has rekindled interest in cold cases, including that of the Zodiac killer. Investigators have revisited the evidence from the original crime scenes and letters sent by the Zodiac, hoping to extract DNA and definitively identify the perpetrator. One group, called the Case Breakers, claims to have identified a suspect through renewed investigative efforts. However, their assertions have met skepticism from law enforcement and the public, highlighting the complexities of revisiting an unresolved case after so many years. Such discussions revive public interest, but also underscore the murky waters of crime-solving and the challenges of substantiating claims amid decades-old evidence. The legacy of the Zodiac killer remains potent in American folklore. He embodies both the terror of the unknown and the relentless pursuit of justice. This duality persists in the collective consciousness, haunted by a killer who loved the thrill of evasion and reveled in chaos. The aftermath of his reign leaves questions that still provoke intense examination. What drove him? What motivated his need for attention? The ambiguity fuels the intrigue surrounding his story. The Zodiac's impact can be seen in the ways society navigates the complexities of crime, safety, and morality. His letters serve as a stark reminder of how communication can manipulate fear and fascination, while the collective investigations highlight humanity's eternal quest for closure against intangible horrors. The true story behind the Zodiac killer remains one of horror and enigma, a narrative woven into the fabric of American society. The film Zodiac encapsulates the fear, obsession, and relentless pursuit of truth that defined the investigation and captured public interest. As the Zodiac Killer remains a ghost in the annals of history, his story continues to captivate and intrigue, reminding us of the thin line between knowledge and horror. Please like and subscribe to Dark Side of the Void for more paranormal